This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 608, Storytime with Uncle Sal. Welcome to Comic Geek Speak. I'm Brian Deemer.
I'm Adam Murdo.
I'm Brian Chrisman.
I'm Jamie D.
And this episode of Comic Geek Speak is sponsored by InStockTrades.com. If you're looking for trade paperbacks, hardcovers, manga, books about comics, just go to InStockTrades.com and you'll save up to 37% off. If you order $50 or more, you'll get free shipping. They'll ship them right to you. And everything comes in beautiful shape. And as the name suggests, everything is, in fact, in stock. So if it's on the website, you can order with confidence, knowing that it's just a few days away from being in your hands. You can read about it. You can get our Book of the Month Club selections on there at extra deep discounts. So right now, get the Atomic Robo Volume 1. I forget I forgot what the discount is on that, but it's there and it's cheap. That's what I can tell you. It's cheap. So just go there. It's great family-run business, wonderful people at InStockTrades.com, and they probably love comics even more than you do. If you find that hard to believe, it's true. I don't care. You don't call me a liar because I know it's true.
Liar.
Because Cameron is the biggest comic geek there is. He's awesome. So go to InStockTrades.com, and I guess, man, in June they'll be celebrating their 4 years of In-Stock Trades, which is awesome. So check it out, InStockTrades.com. All right. It's been a little while since he's been on the show, so the great return of Uncle Sal, and this episode does not disappoint. I promise you that.
Mm-hmm. Brace yourselves.
So how the hell have you been?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys? How's everything?
We're
Very good.
Just so you know, we have Murd, Pants, and Jamie in the room.
Okay.
So you've been to a few cons since we last spoke.
I went to a couple cons. I did, I don't remember. What I do? WonderCon?
Yeah, I think so.
An Emerald?
Mm-hmm.
And they all kind of blend together after a while. You know, they're it's that time of the year, you know, where they're necessary shows, they're nice shows, but when you got to come home to this less than stellar weather here in the Midwest, you just want to fucking kill yourself, you know?
Well, it's not the weather has been all over the map here too. One minute it's nice and warm, and the next minute it's freezing again. You're like, is it spring? Is it what? I don't understand.
Yeah, I came home to we had like 9 inches of snow beginning of April. I was in, you know, and you figure once you're in April, you're out of the woods, and then, you know, it takes a giant shit on you all over again, you know, Chicago. What have you guys been up to? Anything exciting?
Not really.
No, I'm on my Atomika pimpage tour, man, trying to get the word out for this thing. So,
well, it's exciting. More issues, people.
Yes.
People love it.
You know, I'm going through Diamond again, which is I kind of made the mistake of pulling out of that for a little while. I thought I could just do it through shows and do it on my own, and then I just realized, you know, that is one way to do it, but you're just not going to get the word out as much as you'd like, and you're not going to get it into comic stores. Or at least, you know, not any stores you're not dealing with directly. So I'm going through Diamond again, and this time I got more. I'm kind of doing it the way I should have did it at the beginning, which is to have more issues in the can, so you can offer to store owners guaranteed ship dates, so that way you're not, you know, chasing your tail.
Right, because I have in my hands issues 8 and 9, which I guess are the next two to be solicited, I believe.
Those are 8 is in this month's previews. So anybody out there that wants to earn some very nice favors from me, be sure to tell your store owners, you know, to give it a shot and order more than 2 copies. And then, every month from there on in, all the way through 12, and then through the annual. So starting in June, when this month's solicited issue comes out, it'll be guaranteed shipping for the rest of the series.
That's
so
awesome.
It's exciting because it's all in the can, and then I don't have to scurry to get it all done during con season, which is always, you know, always wonderful and joyous. But we're doing God's work, so you know how it is.
Well, a God's work, anyway.
That's right. We're doing somebody's work. I don't know, you know.
Does it make you feel good to finally get this thing wrapped up?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's some stuff I always wanted to do in any way. There was a couple other creator-owned books I had in mind. Atomika was kind of like a learning curve. There's a lot of things I would do differently, but in the end, it's just a shitload of work and a shitload of money and a lot of things, invested in the series that, I learned the hard way. I don't think I was ready for it to do as well as it did, and then and I also never factored in how much time and energy goes into pimping it, and then it takes you away from your ability to sit down and draw. And then that's when you get behind, and you become like one of those, you become basically yet another one of those stories of self-publishers who, miss their deadlines and their book doesn't come out on time and all that stuff. You become an overweight cliche.
Yeah.
How's it
You become another Rob Liefeld, who I sat next to at Emerald Con. He's a sweetheart.
How has it been coming back to Diamond after being away for a while?
There's really not much you're going to do with Diamond, man. They're like the mafia.
Yeah.
So you really got to play ball with them. I mean, I know God bless them, there's other books out there. I mean, there's other solicitation catalogs and other ways to go about it. But, in the end, it's, they're like Coca-Cola. There isn't much you're going to do in the way of comic stores if you're not going through Diamond. I tried to do it and stores are great. Stores will buy books from you if you go see them face to face. Stores have been very supportive. Midtown Comics and Chicago Comics and Neptune Comics in Milwaukee. A lot of stores they've been fantastic. They'll just buy the issue from you directly if you want to do it that way. But if you're going to get it into every nook and cranny, you really got to go through through previews. There's really not a lot you're going to do. Believe me. I thought it was cute. You know what? I'll do it the other way. I'll be I'll be Easy Rider. It just didn't work. It just doesn't work. You got people going, hey, whatever happened to Atomika? And you're like, well, I've been putting it out. Have you seen it? They're like, no. You're like, okay, never mind. I thought I did enough shows to get it out there, and it just didn't work out.
So what made you hunker down and finish it all up?
Humility. It was always a labor of love. I got caught up. I did a couple. I mean, I'm not going to. I don't want to get into the whole what happened and this and that because people really don't give a shit about your problems. They got their own problems to worry about. My wife had a baby, which anybody that has a baby knows what I'm talking about. And I did a couple. I got pulled away. I got kind of lured. I did a couple of projected things for Marvel. Marvel came calling, and then it just never worked out. It never panned out. They never wanted the proposals that I put together for them. And I thought that would be a great way to get some exposure for myself as an artist. And I got kind of lured in. I walked past the whorehouse, and they kind of said, "Oh, hey, Sal," and I think it was, I don't know if they were really as serious about hiring me as I was. And that took some time away from Atomika, and then afterwards I really felt like shit for, abandoning my own project to kind of go do some proposals that weren't, really tangible ones anyway. So, live and learn, guys. What can I say?
Yeah.
It's like, backseat of a Cutlass all over again,
How was Atomika received at the Emerald City and WonderCon? How did that do?
They like it. That's the weird thing about it, which is why I had to stop and say, hey, this is important. There really is nothing more important than your own book and doing your own thing if that's the way, because I wanted to go through the front door of Marvel and DC, when I got into the business. And it just didn't work out that way. I really didn't want to be an independent publisher, but I felt I had something to say, and then I just had to be realistic that the only way, I was ever going to, if I was going to, be an artist, was to just do it myself. And so I lost sight of that, and I kind of had to step back and say, no, people really like this. The response and the support has been overwhelming, and people are very nice. And I thought, what the hell am I doing? I need to just, sit my ass down and, get back into it for the main reason that that I started doing this before. Because it's easy to forget that shit. It's easy to get caught up with all the bullshit and the cons and the whole, everything I do with Alex and different things like that. It's easy to kind of lose sight of, why you got in this business in the first place. It's because I love the stuff. So I'm excited about it. And the book, there's another independent book I want to do after Atomika, which is a book that I did in college, and I'm excited about getting that going and doing an annual. I got some really, I'm working with Bill Sienkiewicz on some pieces for the annual Atomika annual called USSA, which is how the United States lost the war to the Soviet Union and Atomika. So all the people that think I'm that call me comrade and send me hate mail are really going to love that one. I get some beauties. They think, the fuck don't you move back to Russia? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I lived in Chicago my whole life, so I don't know where I'm going to go to in Russia. Unless you got some mail-order brides ready to take me in, I don't know where the fuck to go in Russia. Weather's about the same. And I can wear one of those hats. But that's about it.
I was going to say you should put ads for mail-order brides in your book, offset the cost a little bit.
I thought about it, but then if anybody gets VD, then they'll name me in the trial. So I thought I better just stay out of this. And I've tried the ad swap thing, and it turns into a giant clusterfuck. It really does. I mean, you guys were like the only guys I think that delivered their ads within any reasonable time frame. Everybody else says, hey, you want to swap ads, and you go, great. Send me the ad, and then you find yourself nagging people for ads, and you're like, guys, this is free again, remember? And I can't get you to hand in your ad, so the hell with you. I'll just put the ad for Taco Bell or something in there.
I remember
chalupas,
I remember seeing you at the PhillyCon a few years ago. You were wearing, I believe, a Soviet hockey jersey. You ever pull that at the cons anymore?
Yeah, well, I used to put the Soviet flag up, because it's like Kiss. You need to have a hook. You need to have some kind of a marketing angle, and you wouldn't believe the nuts that you get that come over and start talking shit to you.
A comrade, that kind of thing.
Well, they either get mad about the politics of communism, or they get mad about the title, "The God is Red." They get religious on me, and I'm neither communist nor religious with this book. So I try to tell them, I go, guys, there is no more Soviet Union, and it's just a comic book. It's really just a marketing thing. The whole Soviet flag. I'm a guinea from the north side of Chicago. I don't know what else to tell you. But yet, at least once a con, I get into some guy coming over, and he's usually some military guy or somebody that they wouldn't let in the military because they were too nuts to go in the military, and they start hollering at me. About, don't you know what you're doing? And I'm like, what? I don't know. What am I doing? I'm usually sitting next to somebody who can't stand me as well. So I was next to Bruce Timm at this con, and he is just one miserable son of a bitch, that guy. Can I tell you that off the record?
I guess you can, yes.
Okay, he's a miserable son of a bitch. He really is.
In what way?
No, I like Bruce Timm as an artist. See, let me preface this. There's a lot of guys in the business I like, Neil Adams and certain guys that I like artistically, but yet as people, they're just reprehensible fucking human beings. And you could throw Bruce Timm into that mix.
Wow.
He's just one of those guys that he doesn't even he wouldn't hide he has this contempt for comic book fans, but yet he still sits there and he takes their money, but yet I could tell he's got this he just thinks that he's the cock of the walk, that guy, and he needs a beating in the worst way. No, there's a lot of people it would create a lot of clarity in their lives if they got a beating every once in a while. Bruce Timm is one of them. And I mean, everybody needs a beating once in a while just to put him in line, and he's one of those guys.
Can we put Pants in that line?
No, I don't need a beating.
No, not Pants. If Pants is on the list, he's way down on the list behind a lot of people that I know that you could add to the, There's a lot of guys that just you have to fill a pillowcase full of doorknobs and beat the shit out of them.
I'm freaking harmless, Brian. Thank you very much.
I know. I'm just teasing. Come on.
I'm right here.
Brian, why are you provoking this man?
Well, because it's my job.
No, I don't know. I just sat next to him, and the way he responds to the fans and people there was just, he didn't want to be there, and he was just kind of like, you know, you could tell by his body language, he's just one of those guys that he just thinks that he's fucking Martin Scorsese, and he really shouldn't be at a con. And I was like, well, then why are you here then? You know, to make money and hide it from your wife and do your little commissions.
Yeah.
Your Joker faces for $200. You know.
I heard he got a
And
lot
people
of.
are going to go, oh, Sal, you're fuck you. Bruce Timm's a great artist. I'm not. I like him as an artist. I just said if I was in a lifeboat with him, he'd be the first fucker I threw out. We went down on a plane in the Andes. He'd be the first one you ate. Was fucking Bruce Timm. I swear to God. You just kill him and eat him right away. He's gone. He's done with him.
And this was the same con with Liefeld on the other side?
Rob Liefeld. Liefeld's like, you know, there's an old expression that if you live long enough, you know, there's old buildings and old whores get, you know, respectable if they live long enough, and that's Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld's just one of those old fucking. He's like Vanessa Del Rio at this point. You know, people just want to see the freak show. They want to walk by to go, look, it's Beppo the dog-faced boy at this point. No.
Oh, I'd still do
And
Vanessa.
I
I'd still
could
do
give you,
Vanessa
and I
Del
could
Rio.
just sit down with me, and I could give you 20 fucking reasons why I don't like the guy that have to do with real things, not just I don't like the guy. You know, not just because he was on Tiger Beat or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about like screwing people out of money and things like that. No. But you know, he gets a. You know, people are like, yeah, but he gets a big line. It's like, yeah, okay, well, sure. So does Gil Gerard. You know.
But TV's Buck Rogers. Come on.
So does fucking Huggy Bear. You know, what does that? You know, what does that do? So.
Well, how are the fans treating you at the
I'm
Emerald City?
sorry, guys. We started serious, and I felt that people were going, we wanted to hear Uncle Sal swear, so I better say something. You know?
Hey, you
The
can talk
people
about.
in Seattle are fantastic. That
Okay.
Jim does a tremendous job with that show. It's getting better every year. I hadn't done it in about 5 years, 4 years. It was over by the ballpark last time I did it, and it was nice. You know, it was always a great list, but the crowd was a little light. But this year it was great. Saturday was packed, and Sunday was crowded as well. Wasn't as crowded as Saturday, obviously, but you know, I would definitely do it again. And he, you know, he gets these A-list groups of guys that, you know, draw in the fans, and you know, you get people from all over Washington, not just from Seattle. And you know, I talked to people that drove, you know, from all over that part of the, you know, Pacific Northwest. And it's a good show. It's a good con. I would definitely do it again. You know.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing it next year for sure.
Yeah, no, it's nice, and the people are nice. It's a nice part of the country. You want to get out of that downtown Seattle area because you can really close your eyes and be almost anywhere. Because you know, it's the Gap and it's Nike Town and it's the same shit when you get in the core of downtown Seattle. But yet, if you walk 5 minutes outside of the area, it's fantastic. There's a lot more going on, and there's a lot of heroin addicts and a lot of shit to see.
A lot of grunge music to reminisce about.
A lot of, yeah, you know, there's the Japanese tourists going to see Starbucks, and there's all that shit, you know. Where did singles take place and all this, and the air is cleaner. It's nice, you know. It's a great little town. It's still got a small city feel to it. But people I know that live there don't say the same thing about it. It's really strange. They say it's a depressing place. I guess because of the
it
weather.
rains,
You know, they have the same shitty weather, only, you know, a lot less sunlight. But I liked it. It's a good time.
Now, are you going to any other cons this year, either for Atomika or for
Yeah,
Alex
I'm doing
Ross?
Toronto. The 2-day Fan Expo, I think it's called, which is, you know, I'm not sure. I've never done this one. I've done the one in the fall. This is a 2-day show. I'm going up with Bill Sienkiewicz. I'm supposed to be his chaperone, which basically means, you know, to get him on the airplane.
And get him out of the hotel room.
Stop along the way at a mess lab or something. And then I'm doing that for 2 days, which is nice because the Blue Jays are in town. And I've already got like a shitload of people that want to sleep in my room, which is always a lot of fun. You know, when people don't flush the toilet and things like that, you know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I've already got people that are asking, hey, Sal, we hear you're coming in Friday, but we're getting there Wednesday. So could you call the hotel and tell them to let us in your room on Wednesday?
God.
I'm like, no, I'm not fucking eating 3 more days of a hotel room just so you could, you know, play Doris Day on her honeymoon in my hotel room. It's like, fuck off, you know. Sleep at the train station, and put duct tape over your ass. What do you want from me? And then Mocha, which is always great. I really look forward to Mocha because it's the last real show before they bleach my soul in San Diego, and of course San Diego, and then I'm skipping Chicago this year.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm not doing, and it's nothing against Wizard, even though I know that the Chicago show is really kind of limping along. I'm doing a 3-day breast walk thing, cancer walk for my sister to fight breast cancer. So I'm skipping Chicago, and then I'm going to do Toronto in beginning of September, end of August.
Awesome.
Very good. Now.
Yeah, nothing. So Toronto, this is a new one. I hear it's kind of small. I hear it's only a few thousand people. It's one of their smaller shows, but Toronto's 40 minutes from Chicago. So, I go there just to sleep and, because we had the Easter egg hunt over here yesterday. It's like, yeah, all right. Nothing short of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's like, Jesus Christ. We don't have enough crazy kids around here. We want to recruit more to bring into our backyard to look for Easter eggs. It's always great. So.
Now, you're always the guy I ask questions about for San Diego. What are your thoughts about this year's show? I mean, it's already sold out, all of their 4-day passes.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturdays and 4 days are sold out, yeah.
What do you think it's going to be like this year? Because, last year was sold out like about only a week ahead of time. Now it's going crazy. The economy keeps hearing about this.
Well, the good news about the sellout is it'll never, ever be like it was when you guys are the year that it just got so bad that they had the fire marshal had to lock the doors where you couldn't, you literally couldn't walk around. It was so crowded. Because sold out means that the fire marshal's only allowing in X amount of people. But that doesn't include all the freebie passes that everybody gets. Like all the additional passes that Warner Brothers gives out, and I get stuck giving out, and everybody has to go get. And then that swells the room, to where it looks like my ass. It's big enough to where you just need a U-Haul van to carry it. So I don't know. Everybody was worried about the economy kicking everything in the ass this year, con season-wise. New York went off without a hitch. Mm-hmm. It seemed, better attendance than ever. WonderCon was fantastic. Attendance was great. EmeraldCon was a huge boost, from what it had been from when I did it a few years ago. So, and based on this year, we were so busy last year, I have to have an additional boost this year for Bill Sienkiewicz because we couldn't handle the crowd of him and Alex and Simone all at one booth. So I had to get another one just for Bill. So Bill's going to have his own little booth right next to ours this year, so I can keep the drug addicts on that side of the aisle. And if I had to guess, I'm sorry, Bill. If I had to guess, I think it's going to be fine. I think we're going to be just fine. Now is it going to be? Everybody that bitches about San Diego is right. Everybody that likes it is right too. All the bad things you say about it are true. It's become just a pig fuck in terms of Hollywood and L.A. and all the pimping that goes on at Paris Hilton and all these glorified press conferences that last 10 minutes and everybody goes, yeah, Batman was here. Yeah, for 10 minutes. He took a shit in the bathroom and he left. That was Christian Bale's, the extent of him being. He wasn't hanging out at the bar, It is all those things. But, hey, at this point, comics are a necessary evil that, who knows if they're going to exist past our lifetime because of what's, the media, what's happening to printed. Look, fucking newspapers in Chicago are dying, and Seattle's down to one paper. When I was there, one of their papers went under. So, who knows what's going to happen. So I'm glad to see it. At least we got, I'm glad to see New York now. I'm working with New York for this new show in Chicago, and I think it's great. Because I'd rather we have people trying to put shows in town than not put shows in town. Some people, not everybody seems to be happy about Reed coming into Chicago. And I think, hey guys, you know what? It's VD or it's herpes. You got to have one. It's the fat Latin chick or it's the fat black chick. It's you're horny. What are you going to do? You get drunk enough, you won't know the difference. It's downtown Chicago. It's at McCormick Place. They're promoting the shit out of it, which says, okay, someone's at least being ambitious. Wizard was tremendously ambitious when they first started the Chicago cons, and then somewhere along the way they kind of lost focus. That these shows were important, for comics, not for wrestling and all the other bullshit they tried to, spoon feed us. So based on my conversations with Reed, they seem like they really want to market the shit out of it and bring in some big names. So I'm excited about it. Plus, it's downtown. I could take you guys to Greektown and Little Italy and, all that shit. Show you where Al Capone killed people and everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going out to
Take
that one.
Pants to Greektown and get him a souvlaki plate. Take Jamie to Little Italy. All that shit.
You realize that it would be harder to get Pants to eat a souvlaki plate than to get Alex to come out into public. That's...
It's pretty hard. You're right.
Yeah.
He's at this point. He's like Howard Hughes. You got to just kind of, he's there and he's not there kind of deal. But he agreed to do Chicago because I told him, hey, it's not for another year, so he agreed to do it because it's a year away. So, but outside of that, he didn't really, he's not thrilled about doing shows.
Please tell me he's not wearing tissue boxes on his feet and worried about the
pisses in milk bottles. No, I'm kidding. He's a family guy, man. He's a workaholic and he's a family guy, and he likes to go to cons, as a fan, because he really gets into this stuff 10 times more than even we do. I mean, he's a huge fan of the medium and of all the stuff connected with it, the action figures and the the products involved. But he just he's a private guy. He's just not like us in the way that we can just stand around and bullshit with everybody. He's a very reserved type guy who doesn't. He's not the slap on the back kind of asshole that I am. So that's kind of where I fit in. I'm his filter for anything that's not important. He throws it my way. And I say, guys, I'm sorry. Which pisses people off sometimes. They're like, oh, why the fuck am I talking to you? I want to talk to Alex. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's how it goes. I'm kind of like the little guinea Silver Surfer, and he's Galactus.
I can't picture you on a surfboard.
Thanks. That's good. I knew that was coming.
Also, I could see head to toe silver and
head to toe. So yeah, it looks thinner. It'll make you look thinner. If we got something reflective. Thanks, Jamie. That's good.
He'll be like I'll be like the girl in Goldfinger, almost dying from her because he pores can't breathe.
No, I'm almost dying. Yeah, or I could be like or Fire Lord, the guy with the hair on fire, or Destroyer. He doesn't talk. He's just this big piece of shit, and you open up the mask and there's nothing in there.
That seems to be your lot in life, though, being the shit taker for a lot of your associates.
Well, guys, it's not a perfect world. In a perfect world, I would be just, putting out my book and, living off of that. And that doesn't happen that way. Putting out an independent book is, it's a really, really hard business venture. So you really got to have a side gig. And working with Alex and working with Simone and Bill Sienkiewicz and these guys, I like what I'm doing. I'd much rather be an artist, but I'm not complaining because, working with these guys, gives me the luxury to work with them hand in hand, and it's raised the quality of my work tremendously, seeing what they do and how they do it. And Alex and I have had a personal relationship long before he became, the Golden Goose, as I like to refer to him. And we were friends, years before we started working together. So, we got a great relationship. We got a friendship, and then we got a work relationship. We got two separate. We can yell and scream, and then the second part of the conversation, we just call each other names, and that's how it works out.
Now, are you
mixing business and friendship can be hard sometimes, but overall, Alex and I see eye to eye. He trusts what I do, I trust what he does. And and Simone's a different story. Bill Sienkiewicz is a different story. Those are guys that I admired their work tremendously. Bill, I was a huge fan of Bill's, and when the opportunity to rep him came along, I just I would have done it for free because I'm just such a huge fan of his work, and the stuff he does. There's nobody more talented in the business, in my opinion, than Bill Sienkiewicz. He's just his stuff should be in galleries as far as I'm concerned. And Simone is the same way. When I met him, we became friends. He wasn't even in the business, American business, when I met him, and I just saw this tremendously talented guy. And when push came to shove, I said, sure, I'll help you out, and then it turned out to be a great relationship. Now, that being said, they are pain in the asses, but then again, look at me. So, ask them. I'm sure they got more horror stories about me than I got about them. So, look what they got to put up with.
Hey,
if you think I'm a piece of shit on your show, you should see me in real life.
Well, we have.
We have.
Yes, that's right.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Peter will attest to that. I always imagine most of these shows while I'm rambling on, him just sitting there rolling his eyes, going, "Oh fuck, why do we have this guy on?" I don't know why. Because I know that Brian's like that too.
Get out of here. What are you?
Well,
kidding
you know
me?
what I mean. Because I listen to your shows when I'm not on, and you guys are like nice guys, and then I'm on, and it just reduces the show to
They're just
like to a cockfight.
They're just getting to see the real us, though. That's all. You help lift
All
the
right.
veil.
Yes.
All right.
The readers actually demand more profanity. We got called out a little while ago because we said the word winky on the show instead.
Really?
It's a peanut. The whole freaking Watchmen thing with Dr. Manhattan in the movie, and rather than saying penis or cock or whatever, I was schlong. I said winky. And they're like, "Oh, what are you in third grade calling me?" I was like, "Okay, I was trying to be a little PC, but
Right.
F them."
Well, then you should read what they write about me on the forum. So it's okay. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get your forum problem resolved?
I did get my. It was. I kept. I got one of these new passwords because I lost my old password, and it's like 75 digits long. It's like the missile code. To launch something over the North Atlantic now. It's capital B and then a little b and then an A and then a little a, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to kill myself. And I just, I'd been absent from the forum for a little while, and I just kind of wanted to get on there and chime in on a couple things. And I'm working with Buzz again. So that's good. That's a cool thing. He's helping me out to finish up the series in the annual. So it's good. Having him on as an inker is just tremendous boost for the project.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, he's doing some really, really good stuff on this. The pages I send him, he always sends them back, and I'm like, wow, sort of looks like what I did, only a lot better. He could, and I know I would just love to have a camera in the room when he opens up the box, the FedEx box, and looks at the page, because I know Buzz's reaction to what I send him is like, oh, big fucking deal, because he could do this shit standing on his head. I know he can. But being able to work with your friend is, and a guy as talented as he is just it's a huge boost for me. And
I can imagine. I've been to prepare for this, and I knew you were doing the Atomika Pimpage tour. I dug out the trade and started rereading it. I realized I hadn't gone past, I think, issue like 2, and seeing that he'd done the inks on 1 through 4, I was looking at that, and I mean, I know it's your artwork too, but wow, I gotta tell you, I mean, it may sound like I'm kissing your ass. I mean, people out there should know I'm not doing that because I don't have to do that to you, but the splash pages that you do on some of these are just like filled to the brim with detail, and I was just blown away just reading this, looking at that artwork, going, damn, this is some really good stuff. And then, like you said, to have Buzz ink you on top of that and bring out everything you had put in there, that's just some really good stuff. That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you. A lot of it just stemmed from insecurity, because when I started this, I don't think because it's a small press book or an indie book that you can't really, pour as much into it as you want. Sometimes almost too much. But, having Buzz on and having, other guys on board to help me along, Alex Ross and Travis Cherish just did a great cover for me. And some of these other guys, people think I'm name dropping, and I'm not at all. I'm beyond, thrilled and flattered and excited to have guys of this talented, with this much talent, kind of kick things in the ass for the book a little bit. And I don't really care who gets the credit as long as people pick the book up. I got Alex Nino doing another piece for me, and because I sat next to him at WonderCon, and to be working with a guy like him, it's like it's who I grew up reading is unbelievably flattering. Same with Travis. Travis, when he handed in the cover, I was blown away by the fact that how fast he got it to me and how nice he was and how supportive he was of the book. And he offered to do the second trade cover, and I said absolutely. If you have the time, I'd love for him to do another cover. But I don't know based on the numbers how far we're going to continue the series. I really, really want to finish it up, and I'm looking forward to doing the annual in that oversized format. I want to do it in a kind of a story, a children's book size.
Oh wow!
They call them albums in Europe. They're hardcover, and just get as many interpretations in there as I could. Kind of fleshes the character out a lot more. And there are a lot of guys that I approached. For as many guys as I got to do covers, there's more that I approached that didn't have the time or just told me to fuck off. So Dave Gibbons and Darwin Cook and Brian Boland and Arthur Adams. There's a lot of guys that I approached every one of those guys, and they all told me to go suck a dick. So it's not all it's not all fucking tits up when it comes to getting covers from big name guys.
What did Liefeld say?
Strangely enough, I didn't approach Rob.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't dislike Rob. I just had a problem with Rob from a business point of view when I very first started repping Alex. We had some problems with Rob with Supreme. We had some Supreme art that he was supposed to return to us that somehow magically wound up on eBay. So we had a problem with Rob. So
that's not cool.
Didn't approach Rob, but there were a lot of guys that I approached that I've been big fans of. JR, I desperately wanted a piece from JR, but he couldn't because of contractual things with Marvel. Claudio Castellini was huge for me because that was as close to which is the cover number 8, which is as close to a John Buscema piece as you're ever going to get because he's a huge John Buscema guy. My dream piece would be Kirby. If I could get anybody in the world to do something, it would have been Jack Kirby or John Buscema. I mean, I got Gene Colan. I've approached George Tuska, but I'm not sure it's something that I can fit in at this point because I've kind of over people that are initially said no, and then you replace them, you go on and get somebody else. Then they come back to you 6 months later and go, "Hey, I got your cover." You're like, "Oh, great! Now what am I going to do with an extra cover?" So I've got a few of those that I gotta use.
Well, you did get J.R. Senior. I mean, that was a nice.
I got
cover.
J.R. Senior. That was one another one that he had told. I know him. Fairly. I mean, we're not bosom buddies. He doesn't call me up and we talk about porn. But I know him through J.R. and I know him through Alex because him and Alex got kind of close over the years. And Mr. Buscema, Mr. Ramita in Virginia. I see them at shows and. I asked him, and he was like, "Hey, I'm retired. I really don't do that anymore." And then all of a sudden, boom! It popped up out of nowhere. He did a piece for me, and I couldn't have been more, more flattered by it. But there were, Brian Boland and some of the other guys that I approached. They told me, "Hey, sorry." Darwin Cook, same story. I wanted him to do a piece, but that didn't work out.
Yeah, I have issue 9 in my hands. You have the Simone cover. You have an inside back cover by Ernie Chan, and the back, back cover by Tex, Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira, yeah.
Now,
Mark was one of the first pieces that I got. He was tremendously supportive, and Mark I know a long time. He's great artist, but just don't drink with that son of a bitch.
Yeah, we've heard the story.
Yeah, no, Mark's a great guy, but man, when he has a couple of cocktails, you just want to be you run in the other direction. Just run. I mean, oh my God. I mean, he just starts lactating, right in front of you. You're like, Jesus Christ, like one of the mutants. It's just not funny.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you that I forgot. Are you doing SuperCon again in May?
SuperCon. That's the one in San Jose?
Yeah, it's when we had the story last year with the chick from the Go-Go's.
I'm gonna Are we still on the air?
Yes.
I'm gonna try. Okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Got some great stories from last year.
You want to know the truth?
Yes,
or
I
do.
do.
You want me to? Oh, fuck, who cares? Nobody cares what I say. He doesn't pay for anything for me, Steve. Nothing. Okay? Which is fine, because most shows I do, I live in the real world. I'm not fucking Zsa Zsa Gabor. They're not going to pay for me. And the minute that I distance myself from Alex or anybody else that I know, they just tell me, hey, asshole, who are you? You're not bringing Alex? Fuck off. Send us a check. It's fine. I prefer it that way, because then I don't owe anybody anything. But Steve, who runs the show, is the nicest guy in the world. Let me preface that. And he puts together a tremendous show. But he brings out all these guests and gives them hotels and airfare and, takes care of them to the power of 10. Me, on the other hand, nothing. I have to pay for everything. So for me to go, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I could just go to San Jose on vacation if I'm paying for everything. So I'm going to see if I can go, because last year I went and we had, you remember from the bullshit that Buzz and I talked, we had a tremendous time. But this year I'm just really, really busy with trying to get the word, bang the drum on Atomika and get the word out. And the kid is 2 now, so he's already joined a gang and he's driving me crazy and all that shit. And I'm doing Mocha and I'm doing Toronto next week, and then I got to start, believe it or not, start prep for San Diego. So I'm going to try, because it's a great show. And San Jose's a nice town, except I hope they don't sit me next to the fat guy from Lost again. Because the odors that come out of that son of a bitch leave a lot to be desired. He's got an ass bigger than mine. So he's not a handsome guy. He's not Rock Hudson by any stretch, but don't sit me next to him, please. Put me next to Yvonne DiCarlo or fucking whoever. Put me next to Ernie Chan, because they always put me with the fucking Filipino mafia. They put me with Alex Nino, Tony DeZuniga, and Ernie Chan, which is great, because those three are like heroes of mine, and you won't find 3 more talented guys. But my God, when you get with 3 Filipinos, something's going to happen. I'm not saying what, but they're usually plotting. It's like Heat. They're plotting some kind of fucking bank robbery or something right while you're there. And I don't need to be an accessory. Because if they put my ass in a Filipino jail, it's not going to be pretty. They'll be selling my ass for magazines in about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Here's my ass for a Subway. I don't need that.
Oh, God.
I don't pull the orange jumpsuit off real well. Not many people do, but I really don't.
Oh, my goodness. I had a question. Will you be pipping Atomika in San Diego, or is it going to be mostly the Alex Ross art?
Well, San Diego is primarily Alex's, love fest. It's his big starship. But, I'll definitely still have, the Atomika, as much Atomika as I'm gonna hit him. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna hit him up for an Atomika piece for a litho. I'm gonna have an Atomika Alex Ross litho at San Diego.
Oh, very good.
And I would be crazy not to take advantage of the exposure you get at San Diego. You guys all on board for San Diego this year, or how's that gonna work?
So far it's just me again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just too, I didn't have enough vacation time and money to get out there this year.
Yeah. Any other shows between now and then, or no?
Yeah, well, I'll be at Mocha. I'm going both days to Mocha, and we'll be at Heroes Con.
Oh, very cool.
And the Steel City Con coming up in 2 weeks in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't. Wow, I did Pittsburgh. I did the Pittsburgh show a long time ago. I want to say almost 10 years ago, and I haven't been back since. I just, I haven't. Normally, I know people that go, and I ask, hey, how is it? And then they tell me. But I never heard anything from the guys that run that show. So I thought, hey,
Well, this is actually not the Pittsburgh proper show. That it was supposed to be this next the same weekend, but they moved it to September because the new convention center wasn't finished being built. So this is the Steel City Con.
Too much time for the Steelers parade?
Yeah, I don't know. But this is the Steel City Con, which is a toy/comic show that usually happens twice a year. And the guy heard about us from someone and said, we should come out, and we'd love to go to Pittsburgh. And this was the weekend we were supposed to go to Pittsburgh anyway, so we said, let's do it. And we rounded up a whole bunch of our listeners, so we're all going to have some fun at Steel City.
Okay. Yeah, I got it sounds stupid and people think that I'm full of shit, but I really do enjoy the smaller shows. Mocha's is probably my favorite because of that, because it's just artists and it's New York City and it's summertime and you're set up and there's no pretense and there's no posturing and there's no bullshit. It's just a bunch of artists that set up with all, comics, everything from stuff they, printed 50 copies of through guys that, are big publishers like, Spiegelman and guys like that. So to me, that kind of like, charges my batteries for comics again whenever I do Mocha. I mean, they moved it this year, so it'll be interesting to see what the hell happens with the new space. It's not in the Puck building anymore.
Yeah,
it's on Lexington. Yeah.
Did you see that they added 100 extra tables and they sold them all out?
Wow, no, I didn't. That's great. I mean, I know it's up at Midtown, which in some ways it sucks because the Puck building had it was a great part of town where you got a lot of, walk-in traffic from that area. But hey, I'm just glad it's still in New York, because sometimes when they move shows, they tend to move them out in the middle of nowhere, by the airport and things like that, and then you really, you lose the flavor of the city when you do that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I go to that show by myself. I mean, I lose all the jag-offs. All the guys that want to, hey Sal, whatever. No, guys, leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's like the polar opposite of it's like the Bizarro San Diego for me, Mocha. I carry my box in, I drop it. I just do it completely by myself. I don't need any guys helping me out or $300 for chairs or none of that bullshit like the other shows. And that's where I have the most fun. Of course, it's always 10,000 degrees when you do that show. I don't know what it is about that weekend. It's always a heat wave.
That will be interesting to see, since I was up there once. I liked the building. It was a nice building, nice old, had a cool feel to it. Man, at times there were places where you couldn't move, and
up in that solarium up top. Woo!
And it was like you said, it was like a
the sunlight, it's one of those shows where it's cons like that. It just reminds you that to me that's a real con.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to the other cons that have become big spectacles, and our promotion machines are more of the other shows. To me, they're the reasons that people go more to promote and to sell stuff. Whereas Mocha, to me, lends more to the craft of comic art. It's more about artists, and most of the guys. And you got a guy like me that can be set up next to, Joe Shit the Ragman, and then there's years where I've been set up, like last year I was set up right next to Art Spiegelman, where I get to talk to a guy like that for 2 days where I normally wouldn't get a chance to, talk to him. And then there's other years where I get up, it's the luck of the draw. They'll have me next to guys that I've never met before, and then you wind up shooting the shit and becoming friends with guys that are drawing, a book that could be anything from politics to, superheroes. I'm usually one of the few superhero books there, though. Most of them are books about everything but superheroes. Talking cats and, all kinds of shit. Cornholing hussies and all kinds of bullshit.
Oh, well.
No, it's great. Anybody that's never been, you're going to have a good time. Plus it's New York City.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer, and the Yankees are in town for 2 days, so that entire weekend. So are you guys just coming in for the day, or then that one day, and then you're leaving the next day, or no?
No, I'm coming in for both days. My wife is actually out of town that weekend, so I don't have to worry about anything. So I'm just coming up and staying over and just enjoying the show.
Oh, okay. You're staying in the city?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You're
going to have the Pat Benatar tape going in the car all the way to New York, or what? Treat me right, and you're putting on your leather pants, and you're doing the whole singles thing, or no?
Well, I don't know about the leather pants, but
No? I go with the assless chaps,
Yeah, well, that can work for you. You got that
Jamie
whole...
and I talked about this the last con, and we're assless chaps kind of guys.
Well, with that olive skin, you can pull that off. I'm too pasty white, so, I got to watch myself.
With the cottage cheese ass cheeks that I got, it's beautiful. It goes off well.
I was going to say, when you got the junk in the trunk I got. You assless chaps is the way to go.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you got to go with your strengths, is what I always say.
Play to your strengths.
Give the people what they want, Jamie. If they want assless chaps, that's the way to go.
If I'm playing to my strengths, I'm wearing a burqa. That's it.
Okay. okay. That or I go as the Indian chief from Village People. I can pull the Indian chief off pretty well, believe it or not.
Oh my God! You know what I would pay to have a picture of that?
To pay the Indian chief?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alex used to have these fucking legendary Halloween parties. You go in there in their costumes, these guys stepped right off a fucking movie set. And I could never, this is for political reasons, obviously, before I was working for him, so I could get away with a lot more shit in those days. So anytime he was like, well, what are you coming as? Because he would have, these costumes that, you couldn't believe how cool they were and how authentic they were. And people that weren't allowed in the party unless these guys spent, at least 300 hours working on fucking costumes. So I would go to the store and I would say, well, I'm coming as the Black Panther. I used to tell them, now to pull off a Black Panther costume, you got to have, the body of a fucking gymnast or a swimmer. But what I would do is I would get the Black Panther costume that's like the school mascot, at halftime at the football game, with the big head and the whiskers and the tail and the whole fucking 9 yards. So I was like, well, I told you I was coming because, he really wanted people to come or I would come as Santa Claus or come as a tiger or come as something retarded, because I was like, fucking, who am I kidding? I can't pull off these costumes, these body suits, where you walk around with your cock hanging out the whole party. I can't do it,
Oh, come on, you're telling me you never got dressed up as Captain Marvel?
Never for public consumption. He had three Captain Marvel costumes that we used to use for when we used to take the photographs for reference, but that was it. But there have been times when we're taking photos and then the phone rings and then I'm standing there with the costume on waiting and then people outside one time, there were these phone guys, changing the fucking telephone pole, and I know 3 of them were looking in going, look at this. Look at these 2 fucking guys shooting a stag flick. Look at that! Look at the fat ass standing there with the Shazam costume on. No, he had 3 costumes. One of them didn't fit right, and then the last one that I wore, which it's been years since I put that thing on for, it was when we did the Power of Hope. I'd need a hand key to get that thing on at this point. It would there'd be no way I could get that thing on. But he takes that shit super serious. There's no fucking around. There's no grab ass when you're taking, reference photos for his stuff. So if you think there's no standing around talking about cocks or anything like that. It's all business.
Wow.
How do I follow that up?
Yeah, I had a couple more con questions for you, if you don't mind. Are you going to the Windy City Con this year in Chicago?
Windy City Con, yeah, those guys have they put that thing together last year on a shoestring, and anything that's going to help promote comics, much less stuff that's in town, I'm on board for. So yes, absolutely, I did it last year, and it was a great turnout. It's a one-day show. It's just all local Chicago guys because they don't have any kind of budget to bring people in. So yeah, oh no, barring me being out of town for something else, yeah, I'm going to be there. So last year was really, it was a good time. It's kind of it kind of sucks when it's only a 1-day or a 2-day show because I kind of like to get into a nice rhythm of meeting people and taking a little bit of time to walk around myself. And when they're short, I don't get a chance to do that stuff. Like Emerald, I didn't get a chance to walk around at all. I didn't get a chance to see anybody. And I'll look at the list sometimes and find out that guys that I knew who I liked were like right next to me the whole time, and I didn't get a chance to talk to them. Joe Jusko and I were like right next to each other, and then I found out, as I was leaving, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then we didn't even get a chance to, have a drink or dinner or anything. So, and you won't meet a nicer guy in comics than Joe Jusko. I don't know if you guys have ever met him or not, but
plus he's got like biceps like the size of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. He's been in the business forever, and some guys you've seen them around so long, you think that when you meet them they're going to be, these crusty old veterans. But with Joe, he's got a great sense of humor, and he's a cool guy to hang out with, and he's got great stories, and we see eye to eye on a lot of the jagoffs in the business that we don't like. So. And they all sweat when I don't like them. Trust me. When you got me on your bedside, boy, do people worry.
When's he going on that fucking show again?
But hey, come on, you guys wouldn't have me on if I just wanted to talk about Atomika. That's for sure.
Well, but I mean, it's only right that you get to talk about Atomika. I mean, it's worthy of discussion.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know if it's just insecurity or what, but I've heard myself, talk about this thing at times, this book of mine at times, and I just think to myself, boy, growing up as an artist, you just kind of learn that most people just don't really give a shit about your artistic stuff, especially if they're not into it. So even your family, they'll just go, oh, wow, that's nice. But you can kind of see that they don't really give a shit. So you get that as an artist your whole life. So you just assume it's the same way when you get into comics. And and Alex was always the one. Alex was the first guy that I hung out with comic-wise that taught me that you've got to promote the shit out of yourself. If you're waiting for publishers to do it, or Marvel or DC or whoever it is you're working for, to promote you as a person instead of not just the project. Oh, you're crazy. It's never going to happen. They're going to pimp the project, and that's it. And you've got to really go out and promote yourself more than anything.
Well, I mean, and that's what this show is all about, right? I mean, we talk about all this stuff to encourage people to try something new and encourage ourselves to try something new. We're always, going places we never thought we'd go and reading books because it comes up on the show, and that's what it's all about. I mean, what's the point?
And that's what's so great about being on the show since the beginning was I get guys that have come up to me that are like, hey, I've never heard of the book. I don't really know what the hell it's about, but I'm buying it just because I heard you on the show and I'm curious. And that to me is like the best way to go about it, because now you're getting somebody that ordinarily wouldn't have picked the book up just because they heard me running my mouth about Rob Liefeld or something. So I think it's great. That I can reach and get people from even at Seattle. I had tons of people that were coming up to me. Hey, I heard you on the show, and talking about shitting or whatever. I don't know, you and Buzz, and cornholing, and you and Jamie with the chaps or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing a lot of people don't remember, and if they go back in our archives and get the first episode you were on with us. You were on with us because of this. You had sent us this, and we had reviewed it and had you on because of Atomika. And I mean, I remember, I didn't even know you back then, but I remembered how much I enjoyed this book and told you such. And since then we've labeled you Uncle Sal, and we put you in, and you've told us the great stories, made us all laugh, and But really, this is the basis. Atomika is the basis, and if we can get you on to talk about it, we'd more than love to do that for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, because you guys have been, cool with me since the beginning, and since I first put the book out, and since I first started going on with this, and again, some people, I shouldn't say most, some people know me more through the Alex thing, and that's fine, because that's my gig, and I love what I do. I'm not complaining, about that part. It opens up it gives me a lot of freedom to do what I want creatively, and then there's a lot of people that it's about, because people ask, hey, you going with the art or are you going with Atomika? And I usually, they kind of know that split now, that the last couple shows I've done them strictly with, promoting my own stuff, which is kind of more who I am. Whereas when I'm doing the original art thing, I got to, it's kind of like you have to take it seriously and deal with clients, and, I can't be as much of myself as I'd like to be and talk about, sphincters and all the rest of that shit. Talk about, Page Turner videos and.
Sal, that's the title for your memoirs. Let's talk about sphincters. That's got to be it.
Sphincters?
Yeah.
That's. As you get older, man, everything hurts, so you got to watch out. Is it like that, man? Is anybody on the show in their 40s, or are you guys all way too fucking young for that?
Oh, no, I'm in my 40s.
I'll be 40
is it just
soon.
about everything's fucked up every day, it's something different, or is it just me?
No. It's your body slowly falls apart. That's what I've been coming to figure out.
Every fucking week it's something. One week it's this, the next week it's that, the next week it's, and every time you get over one, the next week something else bothers you. Mm-hmm. And then, and then the week after that, it's I don't know, it's your wife, or it's the the IRS, or it's your job, or it's like I'm constantly fucking stomping out fires with my body falling apart.
Mm-hmm. And it just definitely doesn't bounce back nearly as quickly as it used to.
Oh my God! You can't eat anything anymore that you like. You can't stay up late. You can't drink the way you want to. You can't smoke cigars. Everything falls apart. You're walking around like the mummy, for Christ's sake, where just shit's falling off all over the place. and is it just me too? Are your mothers crazy? My mother's crazy. As you get older, your mothers just get more and more crazy. And I'm like, are everybody's mothers crazy, or is it just my mother that's crazy?
Mine's pretty good at this point. No.
Okay, they don't drive you crazy?
I think it's old Italian mothers. I really
call you up with stupid shit that they see on television, and you go, Ma, I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that. Ma, I don't know. No, we're not having a hurricane. Well, they just said it on television. Ma, that's Florida. No, I saw it on our news. Okay, Ma. We're having a hurricane. What can I tell you? Why are there Chinese people on TV? I don't know, Ma, why there's Chinese people on television. That's my mother. She drives me crazy. Calls up sometimes with questions, and I'm like, Ma, I don't know. Do I know? Am I fucking Sherlock Holmes? I don't know. She had problems making coffee the other morning, so she called fucking Cuisinart, because that's the coffee maker that I bought her for Christmas, and she yelled at them on the phone. Told them their coffee maker's a big piece of shit.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, Ma, I want my Mr. Coffee back. I go, Ma, Mr. Coffee, the one that it was in the alley in 1972. So if you're going to find it, you better go in fucking landfill someplace, in fucking Hoboken and find it, because I don't know where your Mr. Coffee is. I don't know what to tell you about your Mr. Coffee. Well, you better get it back. Okay, I'll get a man working on it right away. Finding your fucking... Joe DiMaggio's dead, and there is no more Mr. Coffee. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do, Ma?
Oh.
She'll still... Every once in a while, she'll still go, well, what do you want to do with your life, career-wise? And I go, Ma, do I know you? Have we met? This is it, right here. She keeps waiting for me to grow up and get out of comics. It's a phase I'm going through.
Aren't you going to be a lawyer tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm like, when are you gonna like get a respectable job? And the other day, she actually asked me if I knew my in-laws were Japanese when I married my wife. That's what she asked me. Did you know these people were Japanese when you got married?
You might have had a clue, I would think.
Yeah, I go, Ma, not at all. They sprung it on me. It was just like it was the fucking invasion all over again. I didn't see it coming.
It was Pearl Harbor over again.
Ninjas fell from the ceiling, and I was married before I knew it. It was a James Bond movie, Ma.
I only ever talked to them behind a screen, like a white panel.
That's my mother.
Oh my gosh!
Crazy as a rat in a tin shit house.
Yeah, no, I don't have things. My in-laws are a little nutty, but nothing that bad.
See, it's the opposite. See, my mother-in-law is the sweetest little Japanese lady you'd ever meet. She doesn't say anything, nothing. She walks around. She doesn't have a sense of humor, so if I make a joke with her, she kind of looks at my wife like, "What? What did he say? What did the crazy guy say?" I'm just the crazy guy. And I've had to sit down many times and rehearse to my mother, Ma, we don't say Jap. We can't use that term. And she doesn't understand why we can't say Jap. She's like, well, you weren't around. I go, Ma, I understand all that crazy shit, but we don't say Jap around here. Well, okay, but, we had to ration sugar. And okay, Ma, all right, that was 50 years ago.
And I doubt
We're not in the crazy place right now. We're in the happy place right now.
And I truly doubt these people were the reason you had to ration sugar.
Oh, well, it's the old, like I said, the children of the Depression. There's no talking them down from that ledge. It's you open a cabinet in this house and you get hit with a fucking can of crazy. There's just crazy everywhere I look. Every drawer stuffed with crazy. Every pocket. Every time I talk to my mother, it's just always like, now, what's wrong, Ma? What? When the NCAA was interrupting her programs, she was calling CBS to call them son of a bitches and hang up on every one of them.
Oh, my God.
I go, Ma, it's not going to help. I want them to know they're son of a bitches. So she calls and hangs up. Boom. All right.
Where's my CSI, son of a bitch?
Yeah. So and it's like if you dropped my mother in a well and filled it with lead, she would get out. Trust me, she would find a way out.
My God.
Yes. She's like, well, you're going to probably put me in a home. I go, Ma, I could never do that because by the time I got to the car, my phone would be ringing and they would say, come and get this lady. Come and get her. It would be like Thunderdome. She would be Tina Turner with the big earrings, and she would be running the fucking place in about a half an hour. Sally runs Bartertown.
I could just see her like standing on a table, like leading the revolution.
Oh yeah. She's like Big Barta's got nothing on my mom, man. I'm telling you. I can't take her to the grocery store anymore because it's like taking Mike Tyson to a Klan meeting. Anytime I take my mother to like the fucking grocery store, she starts a fight with somebody. If there's a line in the checkout, she wants to know why there's a line. And you know why there's a line and they don't open up another line? Because they know she's a widow. That's her other big thing. Everything is about she's a widow. You know how they have, there's the race card with the old Italians, it's the widow card. They know I'm a widow and they could take advantage of me. Who are these fucking people that sit around a table and come up with this shit before you walk in the store?
They're keeping tabs on her. They know.
Yeah, They know Sally's coming, and they go, okay, we're going to take advantage of this old lady because she's an old Italian woman who wants to know why the Chinese are on television.
And how is not opening a line taking advantage? That just makes me laugh.
Because they could, but there's people standing over there talking. And then they don't want to open up another line for her because why should they? She's insignificant. She's just an old Italian widow, and she's going to be dead soon. That's what she says. Loud enough for the whole store to hear. I go, Ma, people don't give a shit about the Italian. Or they know we're Italian, so they figure they could take advantage of us. Okay? If you're buying, can we just get the three items we came in here for, the thing of vinegar, and get the fuck out of here before I kill myself? So I don't take her anymore. I got to leave her in the car like a poodle and crack the window and run in, get it, and come out. You have to treat her like a rabid dog.
Oh, to me, it sounds like you almost have Livia Soprano, except she hasn't put a hit out on you yet.
Oh, much worse. Much worse. I tell my wife whenever we would see that, his mother on a Soprano, and she would, my wife would look over at me. She goes, "That's your mother?" And I go, "Yeah, that's her." I mean, and before I got married, my mother was on my case all the time because she goes, "You know what people are going to say about you? They're going to say that you're the gay."
The gay, right?
The gay. They're going to say that you're one of those homosexual guys. They're not going to say that you're picky. They're going to say you're the gay.
Because
I'm
there's only
like,
one.
well, Ma, first of all, who the fuck are these people? Like relatives that have been dead for 100 years. My Uncle Nazy and my Uncle Vito Zito and all those jagoffs that don't speak a fucking word of English. Who cares what they think?
Did you have any crazy Italian Easter traditions that you have to uphold?
Nah, you know what? Most are dead. I came from, the people that came in, were from my village. We have the big Sicilian feast that's Labor Day weekend, where they have the vada and the whole big, religious ceremony that comes back from Sicily. And they have the feast. They've had it, started in the city, in the 30s, and then it moved out to the suburbs, because you didn't want to be near the minorities. That was what the Italian, that was what the guys that ran the feast said. Even though not one of these fuckers could speak a word of English, they didn't want to be near minorities because, they were Americans. They all had purple feet and couldn't. My Uncle Mariano's been in this country since the 50s. Can't speak a fucking word of English, not one word. My father used to say, hey, you got to give Mariano a break. He's only been here 50 years.
Wow.
That's about it. They don't really observe Good Friday. They have St. Joseph Day. It's called for Sicilians. That's about it. But the only other big traditions are they're crazy. They make their own wine because to go to a store and buy a bottle for $5 that's too expensive.
Do Do they use the all-purpose Sicilian word "bo"?
You want to know something? Most of it, the last real, most of the last linkage with most of those old hardcore Sicilian relatives of mine, they're all gone now. I mean, I see them at weddings and funerals. That's about it.
Mm.
My grandmother came over on a boat, but all of them were so damn old that every time they'd walk past the cemetery, guys with shovels would come out chasing them and say, "Hey guys, fuck back here." Hey, and most of the men, they didn't die. They just saw an open hole and they jumped in because the women drove them fucking crazy. They couldn't take it anymore.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't. If you're an old Italian guy, Jamie, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you just say, "Fuck this! I've had enough. I can't take any more of this shit."
Oh yeah, I've enough of my uncles and aunts and all that. I know exactly of what you speak.
They just can't wait. They're on their way. They just like, "Let me go. Just here's the suit I want to be buried in. Let me get the fuck out of here. This woman's driving me crazy."
My great-grandmother nitpicked my great-grandfather she would mark the bottles.
They just say, "Fuck it, I've had enough, Uncle. I'm through. I can't take it anymore."
Yeah, she would mark the bottles of alcohol, like draw a little line, and then he would drink and then put like a little water in or whatever. So like he would like finish the bottle and then fill it up with something else because she didn't ever drink, so she wouldn't know that it wasn't the wine or whatever anymore.
Yeah. It's like
God.
that. I mean, it's one of those deals where you just get to the point where you're like, enough, man. The Sicilians are the only one, and Jamie, I know you got stories like this too, where there's stories of guys that have gone out with wives and kids that have gone out for a pack of cigarettes and never come back. Mm-hmm. just fell off the face of the earth. I mean, literally left the house with nothing but what they got in their pockets. Honey, I'm going out for a pack of smokes, and they're never spotted again. They're spotted like 1977. Someone saw them like walking through an airport or something. It was one of those Rod Serling episodes or something where they just said, "Fuck it, they'll go live in a treehouse instead of be married to one of these crazy Italian women."
And they all have that look, that same look when you see them. That just like. She's talking, and he just has that look, like he has that switch in his brain, and he's just turned it off. And eventually,
you could smell if you stop and you really smell, you could smell their soul dying. You can just go, "Oh yeah, I smell that." It's like it's an old carcass at that point. They just can't take it anymore.
And they look at you, and it's like, "Shoot me, please."
Yeah.
Just shoot me.
Yeah. That's why, they were, and I dated these girls, when I was younger, they're like, "Oh, marry a nice Italian girl from the village," I went out with these hair farmers. They're all fucking crazy. I mean, it's like, no. I'll wind up fucking killing somebody. Trust me. I mean, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be talking through glass right now. If I had married one of those women, we'd be on the phone, but I'd have the little glass with the holes in it. I'd go, "Hey guys, how are you? You brought me comics. Thank you." No way. When I got married, I didn't really plan on getting married. I waited, till I was 40 to get married, and I just said, "Hey, that was it. I wasn't going to get married," and then, I didn't really. It wasn't something I saw coming. It just kind of, somebody threw me a lifeline to get the fuck out, and I said, "All right, I'm going to get out of here."
And so you went across the other ocean,
I kept the Axis power together and went to the other way. Well, I kind of reinforced Buzz's lifelong philosophy that everybody secretly has yellow fever, and everybody secretly wants to marry an Asian. That's what Buzz claims. Anytime I argue with him, he goes, "Well, who are you married to again?" And I go, "All right, shut up, I get it."
I actually have, if I can squeeze a comic question in.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, God.
Again, I want
to
hear his opinion on this. Have you heard about the new Wizard show in New York City? What can you tell us?
All right, that's another one. That's another bait and switch. That show, last year, that was the last year of that show. That show was dead. He told me personally, I'm not saying any names, but the guy who runs it told me he's done. He's finished with it, and he just doesn't want to do it anymore. So Wizard didn't buy it as much as they just kept it going. They just said, "Okay, they got something for nothing." It's like me saying, "Hey, you guys want a car? Here, take it. I don't want it anymore." And then you go, "Hey, look what I bought." No, not really, but Okay, and it's good that there's a monthly show. I think it's twice a year. It's usually November, and I think in the spring. But I've done that show, and it's nice for locals. It's usually always the same weekend as Mocha. And one year I know they shuttled people back and forth from both shows. But it's kind of just really a New York thing. It's people that live in the city and people that live in the surrounding areas kind of come. But and the guys that run it are nice guys, don't get me wrong. But, I didn't particularly think it was anything worth losing your mind over, So, but I've done it a couple times and had a good time. Stay the fuck away from the Hotel Pennsylvania, which is where they want to put you, across the street, because when we were there, you smell hillbillies with hot plates and kids running down the fucking hallway. We heard rats in the walls, running up and down the fucking walls in Hotel Pennsylvania.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, no, we checked out in the middle of the night. We got out and we said, I'm getting the fuck out of here, because it was like something out of, The Deer Hunter. I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So that's where they want to put you. And in its day, the Hotel Pennsylvania was this, it was a gem. It was like one of the biggest, fanciest hotels in New York City. Was started by the Pennsylvania Railroad, but shit, that was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And but Wizard picking it up, I don't know. I don't want to, get on the bandwagon of picking on Wizard, but I just don't. I think they should worry more about Philly and Chicago and less about that. I know Philly is. The rumor is that they're holding on with, by their fingernails. Chicago. I mean, they, in fairness to people that have been setting up with them for fucking 10 years, they should be honest with their exhibitors and be straight in what's going on. They won't even, tell you what's happening in the way of promotion and things like that. So they don't have any con people left. All their con staff is gone. They let them all go. So when I asked them who's going to run the show, they said they're going to use the Reed people who work. Not the Reed people, the exposition people that work at Stevens Convention Center. So that's not a good thing, believe me.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not a good thing at all. So I don't want to see anything in comics go down. I want to see everybody succeed because it's good for everybody, but I just don't have a lot of faith in the Wizard shows anymore. I'm not investing my money in them. Let me put it that way. Because I don't see them investing any money in it, and I think that, love it or hate it, I think Reed is the new way to go for Chicago. New blood downtown. Promoting the shit out of the Midwest. They've reached out to all the local artists and the art schools and the universities, and from what I've seen so far, they really got their shit together. Now, are they perfect? No, but hey, Wizard 5-10 years ago was a great thing. They were really kicking ass to put out a good show at Chicago, but there's only so many times you can have chap yap, at Wizard and people give a shit,
I don't
know. How do you guys feel? I don't want to piss on anybody's picnic.
I'm very curious because, Big Apple Con is not Wizard World, right? So if there's somebody who's not really paying attention to things or whatever, and they find out that, Wizard is running this show in New York, they might go there anticipating this Wizard World-like convention, and then they get there, and it's the Big Apple Con, which is not a bad experience, but it's
here's how it works with the Big Apple. The Big Apple, and especially with Chicago. Chicago is in Rosemont, so you've got to you've got to fly in and pay for whoever's going to come. With New York, with the show that Cabanera was running for years, it's all local guys. It's literally people that live there. Neil Adams and Joyce DeWitt and the broad from Caddyshack and the black guy from Warriors, they live there. So for them, they just drive in that afternoon or get on, walk over or take a cab, sell pictures of themselves and go home at night. So it costs Wizard nothing. They don't have to give them hotels. They don't have to pay for airplane tickets. So it's a show that has very little overhead. You're making your money off of the retailers, the guys that are setting up tables. You don't really have any invited guests. You've seen the promotion they do in the past, very little. So for Garib, it's a very low, it's not that much of an investment out of pocket to run that show. I mean, they don't have anybody, they don't have staff, they don't have people that walk around and kind of help you where you got to go. Have you guys ever been to it?
I was at the one last year, the same weekend as Mocha.
Okay, it's in a I'm not bullshitting. It's in a fucking abandoned sporting goods store.
He is not kidding around.
is where that show is held.
Yes.
It's not. It's in a Herman Sporting Goods that closed across from the Garden like 12 years ago, and it's still sitting empty. So all they do is the guy, this Polish janitor comes with a set of keys and opens the door and says, "There you go, guys," and then there's your Comic-Con.
Now, I believe they're talking about actually moving it for this one in October. I forget the exact location, but I heard about something near the docks, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, okay.
You have to,
on an abandoned ship.
Docks in October.
No, I mean, I'm just looking at it from a point of view, going in as a fan, we've got too many options of ways to spend our money, and I just don't like it when people, put shows together and then fans go and they feel taken advantage of. I just feel it's kind of a, you're not being entirely truthful is all I'm concerned with when you put shows together like that. Now, that being said, you can go to that con and you could find 5 to 10 A-list artists, Neil Adams and Mark Texiera, and Sienkiewicz used to drive in for that show. So you could, feasibly get, a bang for your buck when you do a show like that. But don't expect all the amenities or even to be in a convention center because you're not going to get that. I mean, it's run like you're running a fucking bake sale. So when I heard, Wizard bought the New York Con, not really, not because to have a show at a convention center and all, you have to sign like New York, like Reed. New York is going to be October from now on. They just signed a 5-year deal, which is good because you could plan that into your schedule that it's going to be in October from now on. Chicago is going to be in April, which is good. You guys come into town. It's a little early for baseball. You freeze your ass up, but I could show it's in downtown Chicago. So you could take you're literally 30 seconds from the Loop, from the city. So the city you can actually see things. That to me is as much a draw as the con itself. So when people are like, "Hey, Wizard bought New York," I was like, "Oh, come on, guys. That's like saying you kissed your sister. Big fucking deal." So what? It's like in college. Well, really? Was it? Did anything happen? Well, sorta. Well, you can't sorta fuck somebody. Either you did or you didn't. It's like, well, how's the show? Is it any good? Sorta. Well, it means you didn't fuck her. It was, Sorry, that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
That's true.
No, I mean it's and I don't want to knock those guys, the guys that used to run the New York show, because they've been they invited me for years, and it was a nice show, but it just wasn't like you just said, it wasn't what you expected. You got there and you're like, this isn't the same thing. This is a sporting goods store. This is not really what I was looking for.
Yeah, it was very odd the way it was laid out, but I saw some people there. I saw one of the Harley Yee, one of the big Golden Age, Silver Age dealers was set up there, and it was just really odd. It was just small and confined, but
it's an easy place to have a show because you got a lot of talent in the industry that lives in New York. And especially, my God, if you want to get those the retired movie stars, oh my God, it's endless who they had there. They had, the broad from Saturday Night Fever and Joyce DeWitt and the guy that played Cyrus, and I mean it went on and on and on. I mean, it was a whole row of these guys that were all not in Hollywood anymore, but yet you knew every one of them. Well, they all fucking lived there, so they just come in, sell some photos, and then go home.
Yeah, I mean, and we all love those kind of shows too. I mean, that's pretty much what we're getting with Steel City Con, right? I mean, a bunch of dealers and a few artists and some celebrities, and that's great because when you're in the mindset for that kind of show,
right,
you're very satisfied at that experience. But I think that at least the first one, right, when it's like Wizard Presents, if they still call it the Big Apple Con or whatever, there are going to be a whole bunch of people who aren't really paying attention and be like, oh, man, it's a Wizard show. Oh, cool. And then they're going to go and they're going to be like, where's the video game booth? And where's the Marvel booth? And where's the DC booth? And they're going to be like,
you really
I don't
think
understand.
So? I mean, anymore? I mean, they've kind of, they've kind of blew their wad with that over the last few years. It's so much so that they had to change the name of Chicago to Chicago Comic-Con.
Yeah, I saw that.
They took Wizard off the name of the Chicago show this year.
I didn't even realize that.
For marketing reasons.
Wow.
Because because the Wizard Comic Con has gotten such a bad rap, especially here locally, that nobody gives a shit. And what you said is true. For a small show, people want there are certain shows that fits what people want out of certain small shows when you do those types of things, but not in New York City, because New York City is a whole different beast in terms of money. Everything's 3 times more expensive. Booths and transportation and parking your fucking car costs $75. Hotel room in the summer, you're not going to get any breaks on hotels and food and everything. So if you're going to do all that to go into the Big Apple for a show, you want something that's kick ass. You don't want something that's just you standing there, looking at the guy that played the little robot in Buck Rogers.
Right. Yeah.
Big fucking deal. That guy lives next door to me. I can go next to him and say, hey, let me borrow some sugar. Oh, hey, you're the guy that was the robot. Oh, good, nice to see you. I don't think you got to worry about people getting confused and buying a comic because it's got a Gil Kane cover and getting home and realize, with Submariner with red hair. You don't got to worry about it. Not with Wizard anymore. I don't think they trust them. And out of fairness to Garib, I just don't think he has the staff to run that show anymore. He used to have some good people working for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, Martha and Jody, and he had some people that really, were go-to people. They're all gone now. They're all gone. They're literally, we're all let go. So how the fuck are you going to run a professional show that's going to take care of your exhibitors and the guests and the fans if you don't have a staff that knows how to fucking do any of those things? You could forget about any programming, too, because there's no room to have programming at those shows. It's going to be strictly walk through the door, giving your money, and then go see, who's here.
Right.
They don't have the staff to put programming together. So, I say just go in and play Midnight Cowboy and do your own thing if you're going to go into New York. But that's what Jamie does.
Got that right.
He whistles the "Everybody's Talking at Me" theme song, and he walks down 42nd Street, and he goes from there.
Yeah, my chaps and my hat.
Okay. It all comes back to the chaps, doesn't it?
Hey, you gotta go with it.
That's just my take, guys, for whatever it's worth.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Oh, just shut the fuck up. I'm like, all right, I'm just telling you from an exhibitor's point of view.
No, makes perfect sense. Yeah,
absolutely. Those shows are expensive, man, and if you're going to do them, you want to at least do something that you're going to feel like, okay, they're trying hard to make it a good show. So I'll invest some money in it too. Like you saw what Reed did with New York. They had a 5-year plan. They lost their ass the first couple of years, and then by the 5th year this year, you could see they finally got their feet. And it's a show that's they signed a 5-year deal with the Javits, and they're here to stay now. The show in October. And not everybody loves that show, but I think we need a big show in New York City because that's where the comic industry is in New York.
And the energy level was very high there. I think there might be naysayers, but if you were there and you experienced it, man, it was a very positive vibe going on inside that room.
You have to have a comic show in New York City, period, because for a lot of reasons. The international publishers are going to go to New York because they can get direct flights to New York City. So you can tap into a lot of international clients and a lot of international guys that feel it's worth their time. Every DC, Marvel, whoever is in the industry in terms of the heavy hitters, with all due respect to Image and Dark Horse, they're in New York. So Marvel's whole staff is going to be there. DC's whole staff is going to be there. And if you're going to be seen, you have to have an East Coast show that's, New York. No offense to Baltimore and Charlotte and the other shows on the East Coast, but you got to have something in New York. And for the longest time, nobody wanted to tackle it because it's too fucking expensive, man. You've got to sign a deal with the Javits. It's $400,000 to fucking sign a contract for the Javits Center, for one day. So you got to be assured you're going to make back $500,000 before you even could see $1 of profit.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's why you got to start with a small room. I mean, they're coming into Chicago, and they're going into the shitstorm of all shitstorms by going to McCormick Place. I mean, if you think it's pull your pants down and bend over at the Javits, wait till they go to McCormick Place. The unions at fucking McCormick Place don't even use Vaseline. I mean, it's like, look the fuck out. They charge you for shit that you never even knew that you ordered. You know, your shoelaces aren't tied left to right. They charge you for it. So for them to come into Chicago and say, hey, we want to have it in downtown Chicago, you know, that's an ambitious move by them because they could go in and lose their ass, you know, by doing something like that. So it's like, hey, I give them a lot of credit to say, hey, we want to have it in downtown Chicago, you know, instead of having it out at, you know, it's a lot less expensive having it out at Rosemont. Hotels and everything, you know. Taxes, and, you know, you're not going to get any breaks at McCormick Place. They're going to be like, what, are you kidding me?
How big a venue is that?
McCormick Place is the second biggest convention center in the world.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, it's the part of town where they're having the 2016 Summer Olympics pitch. That's going to be the Olympic Village is right there. So, and that's where Obama gave his acceptance speech for the nomination, and you know, that's the heart of downtown Chicago. McCormick Place. The skyline is right there. Soldiers Field is next door. The museum campus, you know, of the Art Institute and all that is like, you know, 5 minutes away. Behind you is, you know, again, Greek Town, Little Italy. The Loop is 5 minutes away. So you're in the shitstorm right there. It's the equivalent of having it at Madison Square Garden. It's right in downtown Chicago.
Okay.
Cool.
It's not out in, you know, where they have corn and stuff.
I was just curious if, you know, they were going to start out like, you know, you were there that first New York, if they were going to start out with a room that size, or whether they could jump right into like this year's size.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm working with them. They've asked me to help them, you know, organize some things and get some local guys and organize Artist Alley and shit for them. So I said, absolutely, so I don't want it to seem like conflict of interest. But for me, as a Chicagoan and as a comic guy, I feel we should have a show in Chicago. And with Wizard, I honestly don't know how much longer that show's going to last. It doesn't seem to have legs anymore. More and more people are telling me they just don't want to do it, especially after San Diego. It's going to be 2 weeks after San Diego this year. People are fucking dead after San Diego, financially and otherwise. So when they came to me and they said, Sal, we want to have it at McCormick Place, I thought it was a rumor for a lot of years. I thought they were talking out of their ass. Because originally they were going to have it at Navy Pier. So when they said, no, Sal, we want to have it, and I met with them. They came into town. We sat down. We had dinner, and they said, we want to bring in, you know, as many local guys, and we want to pull in not just Chicago, but the Midwest, you know, Detroit and you know, the Ohio and Indiana and Michigan and all the other, you know, the surrounding states. So I said, that's great. You know, and I said, and I gave them, I was honest with them. I said, there's a list of guys that I think you'd be crazy not to have. You know, and they're not the flavor of the month artists that you see a lot of shows invite, you know, that I think you should start with these guys. And I threw a bunch of names at them, you know. So we'll see. I mean, who knows? Everything always starts out fucking hugs and kisses. Mm-hmm. And then after you get laid, then the real shit starts happening, you know. By the fifth date, that's when you get the real, you know, you find out who's a robot and who's not a robot, you know. It's like Blade Runner all of a sudden. You're like, wait a second.
That or the crying game.
You find out, yeah, he's got a tree trunk. He's got a root hanging under his skirt. You go, wait a second. This isn't right. You know, you fucking turn around and you go, it's Buzz with a wig. You go, oh, shit. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, I just want us to have a big comic show in Chicago. I don't want us to be out at Rosemont anymore. I think it's you know, I love people when they go, I was in Chicago, I hated it. And I was like, well, where'd you go? And they're like, oh, Rosemont. I'm like, that's not the same thing. That's like, you know, like fucking somebody's toes. It's just not the same. And for some people, that's fine. That's their thing, you know. Peter, you know, I know that's his thing because he's a dancer, but hey, what do I know?
Twinkle toes.
Yeah, you know, he's got that foot thing going on.
I knew a girl, I don't know if I told you the story, I knew a girl who was she I don't know how she got into this, but she had really pretty feet and she was very attractive. So she got hired. She would go to these like parties at like these hotels. They would rent out, you know, these banquet hall rooms, and they would have pedestals or like around the room, and they would just be different women in like lingerie standing on these, you know, in their high heels, standing on these pedestals, and it was a foot fetish party. And these guys would pay God only knows how much to get in and walk around and just look at their feet and like jerk off.
Oh, wow.
And so she would just stand up on that pedestal for a couple hours, whatever, make, like $500 or whatever. And
did she wear a raincoat, or did she wear,
No, well, I think they had it, like, roped off, so, like, there was, like, you couldn't get right next to it,
So it was
Because,
inside a plastic sheet.
some guys will shoot a rope. You got to be careful.
Whip.
Some guys can get some distance. They had me there. They better have me behind fucking glass.
Wow.
Gotta be careful, man. You get Peter Norton there. That fucking guy.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Who's throwing the mayonnaise?
That's right. Who's got the fucking jar of Nivea with the pump on it? Get him the fuck out of here. We'll see, man. I don't know. It's in some ways it's sad because it's the kind of the. Chicago at Rosemont had been such a tradition for, especially Chicagoans, guys I know forever, Angel Medina, and a lot of guys who I knew, and we've been going to that show for, for years. I mean, before it was Wizard. So in some ways, because I drive by Rosemont every once in a while, because it's, it's a little bit north of my house, and I'm just like, it's kind of sad, that it's a, Chicago tradition of comics that's kind of going to go, because I really don't see it lasting, more than another year or two. And especially if the Chicago show gets legs, I really think it's just going to, knock it out of the water. And, but hey, it's change. That's life. Life is about change, and San Diego will be the same way, guys. Trust me. The years will come when we'll go, what the fuck happened to San Diego? It won't. It'll calm down. Everything is a cycle. It'll come. It's the main circus in town now. But like everything else, man, that'll come back down to earth. In enough time. And right now, I think you just got to kind of go with it for what it is, at the moment.
Sure.
I had a good time at San Diego when it was 12 jagoffs sleeping in a room, and I had to sleep in a bathtub, and it was half the size of Chicago, San Diego at one time. So, I'll be there and I'll have a good time no matter what.
Yep.
They might be pushing my carcass around by then, but what the fuck? They'll have a little jar with my ashes in it at San Diego. You guys can put your cigarettes out in it, Fuck do I know? Alex always said something that was kind of spooky to me. He's like, these characters, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, they will be around long after we're dead. And it's true. We think of it as these characters being like, part of our life, and then when we go, they go, hell no, man. I got a feeling there'll be Spider-Man around, fucking 100 years from now, in one way or, in one form or another.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So you got to just kind of go with the change.
Cool. Well, that's a good way to end the show. I think we've had you on the phone for an hour and 35 minutes. I think that's you probably need to go to bed or something.
Got to get to work, man. My day just started. Right?
Oh, all right.
No, I get more done at night. During the day, you got more distractions and if anybody out there, I appreciate any pimpage I can get, man. Anybody who can nudge their store owner to order Atomika this month, I'd really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
With the 2,500 numbers, I'm not taking anything for granted. I don't think we have a problem, but hey, you never know. You can never just go at it cocky and assume you're gonna get orders back that are gonna be triple digits or something.
Right on.
You got to just you keep plugging.
And
you guys been quiet this time. What's going on over there? You guys all mad at each other, or what happened?
Hell no. We're just letting you.
Jamie's normally farting and burping and giving me porn suggestions, and I got nothing this time. What happened?
I don't know. I've been watching Screw My Wife Please lately, so they've been pretty good.
Now, is that the European Screw My Wife or the North American?
North American.
Okay, because the European ones are a lot younger now, I notice.
Really?
Oh, yeah, the Eastern European ones, my God. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's kind of spooky how young they're making those girls go into porn out there.
Yeah. There's one I just watched, and there was this. He had this Japanese wife, and she was just like, she was so scared. You could tell she was scared as hell. But he's like, I want her to do this, and it was not very erotic. I will say that.
Well, now, pubes or no pubes? Because the Japanese don't want pubes in their porn. They're very offended by pubes. One client told me.
Wow, very little.
You'll very seldom, if ever, see. And now Japan, when you go to Japan, you walk around. The first thing you think of is you go, how the fuck did we ever beat these guys in a war? because they're so disciplined and they've got their shit together and they apply their martial arts philosophies to everything. That if the light is red and there's 10,000 guys at the light, not one of them will run across. Just because you don't do it, it's a disgrace if you do. And they got a little can where you put your cigarette butts, and and so you see it and you go, but yet you walk down the street and they got a fucking vending machine where they sell soiled women's underwear and pubes, female pubes in envelopes. So you go, what the fuck is this? What kind of sick jagoff wants an envelope full of pubes? But that's their thing over there. They got a fetish about pubes. That's the title of my biography. Fetish about pubes.
Fetish about pubes.
No, I'm not bullshitting. You walk down the street, you got a vending machines that are like a block long that sell everything from children to anything you can imagine, and they got ones that you could buy soiled women's underwear.
Yeah, I've heard stories about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. I told my wife. She's like, "Oh, come on." I'm like, "All right." I took a picture and I sent it to her.
Yep.
Because she didn't believe me.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right. You fucking guys don't care.
Yeah. So they
when
can
am I
go
going to see you now, Mocha?
Mocha.
I would think so.
Yeah, at least.
And how many, Jamie? You're not coming to Mocha?
I'm going to try to come up one day. I want to see. It's going to have to be one of those where I take a vacation day or something like that. But I'm going to try to at least get up maybe Saturday, not Sunday.
Okay. And where are you guys staying? You know where you're staying or no?
I'm probably crashing at a listener's house. So.
Okay.
I'll probably just come up and come
Maybe a
back
day
the same
trip,
day. Yeah.
Okay. No, because it's a good time. And if you guys are going to stay over, we should have dinner or go for drinks or do something because it's summertime and there's a lot of cool shit to do in the city.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be there.
And because San Diego, we don't get a chance to get together. It's like a fucking airport now. That show.
Yeah.
It's too crowded. You always say, hey, everybody's name is Hey at San Diego because I'm so fucking senile I can't remember anybody's names anymore. Everybody's Hey, And then when they tell me, I heard you on Geek, and I'm like, and then I don't tell them fuck stories, they're always disappointed. I'm like, guys, I don't know what to tell you. They're always like, that's the only thing that kills me about when like a listener will come up to me, they're always like, they're like, if I don't swear, they're all pissed off. If I go, hi, how are you? How you doing? Nice to meet you. And I'm just like, can I do a sketch for you? They're like, no, tell me a story about when you shit your pants or something. I'm like, all right. Oh. I'm like, I don't have that many, but I can think of one maybe you haven't heard, And then I usually throw him Buzz's way. I go, hey, there's Buzz over there. Go fuck with him. Buzz will tell you right off, right? He'll tell you off right to your face. Get the fuck out of here. Leave me alone.
All right, ma'am. Well,
all right, gentlemen,
everybody,
listen, thanks a lot. Always a great time. Thanks for having me on.
Can they go to Atomika.com or something?
MercuryComics.com. Or
MercuryComics.com.
Atomika's in the April previews this month. And every month from here on in, it's going to be monthly till issue 13. And then I got the annual. So it's going to be, they can get it every month.
Very cool.
Awesome.
We got the Castellini cover this month, and we got Travis, Simon Bisley, Simone, Bianchi, Glenn Febvre, Arthur Sudam, and Bill Sienkiewicz covers. So,
please tell me it's an Arthur Sudam that's not a zombie cover.
No, it's not a zombie cover because I said no Atomika. Arthur Sudam, I asked him, and he said no. And then 6 months later, he goes, Sal, I got your Atomika cover.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. I had already moved on and asked Glenn to do another one. But hey, he did a great job. It's like it's a kind of a really dark, big shock. It's kind of a really dark cover.
Cool.
Atomika standing over the destroyed Statue of Liberty.
Because he's such a good artist. I'm just tired of seeing him do nothing but zombies.
I'm sick of fucking zombies, too. No more zombies, please. I think that zombie thing has definitely run out, but he was making money hand over fist doing all those zombie covers.
Well, yeah, I can't blame him for it, but man, he's such a good artist.
No, I agree. Now, is that shit all dead? Or is that book still out, or is that all gone now?
No, there's number 4 just hit the series 4 just hit the stands last week.
And that's new stuff, or that's reprints of the
new stuff?
Because I know there's hardcovers and all that bullshit.
It's all new stuff now. It's written by another show friend, Fred Van Lente. But it's
same artist.
Not sure who the artist is.
Okay,
I don't know.
No, I've had enough. I mean, it was good. I really liked the original series, but then I was done.
Yeah.
You know.
Great.
I'm waiting for Marvel meets Swedish erotica. And
You and me both, pal. You and me both.
yeah. All right, guys. Listen, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I always appreciate it. You know, you guys are great to me, and let's definitely try to get together in New York.
Absolutely.
All right.
You
Say
got
hi
it.
to everybody. Where the fuck is everybody? What? They hear I'm on, and they're like, fuck it, I don't want to come on the show?
Shane never comes on Mondays because he's got family stuff, and Peter was busy tonight, I guess.
He had an audition, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Or his first day of his new gig or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Is he playing Trey Jolie Coco tonight, taking the shirt off for Polaroids, or what's going on?
I have
with
no... You know what? I stay out of that. I don't know. I try not to know.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry. A little fame reference there. I'm sorry.
Yes. All right, man. Have a great
All
night.
right, gentlemen.
All right,
We'll
good.
talk to you
Take care
soon.
of yourselves.
You too.
All right.
And anybody's up in Toronto this weekend, come up and see me at Toronto. I'll be there.
Definitely go see him.
All right.
All right, guys. Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So,
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Ooh, that ran the gamut, didn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly did.
Wow. That's good
That's what's
stuff.
great about a Sal
Yeah,
episode.
Exactly.
let's talk about sphincters.
I really think that should be the title of this memoir.
Sphincters and pubes.
Or an envelope full of pubes.
Sphincters and pubes.
That's good stuff. All right, this episode of Comic Geek Speak was sponsored by InStockTrades.com. If you want to buy trade paperbacks, hardcovers, or manga, and you want to save up to 37% off, just go to InStockTrades.com, and if you order $50 or more, you'll get free shipping. It couldn't be any easier than that. If you'd like to send us an email and you want to complain, so send it to pants at comicgeekspeak.com.
No. Don't do that.
Look, I caught him off guard.
Don't do that.
comicgeekspeak at gmail.com. Visit our website at comicgeekspeak.com, where you can listen to many, many more Uncle Sal episodes. To follow us on Twitter, we're Comic Geek Speak. To leave us a voicemail, the number is 215-275-8839. Well, somebody's Facebooking me, I guess. What the hell else am I trying to say? We want to thank everyone who's donated to the show. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do the show without you. And as always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.